In this video, you learn 3 beautiful sounding chord progressions for guitar that everybody should know. Now, even though we're going to be looking at unique, non-standard shapes here, they're not difficult to play. In fact, some of them are even easier to play compared to standard chord shapes. Hi, this is Simon Candy from Acoustic Guitar Lessons Online.net, and in this lesson, I'm going to show you 3 beautiful sounding chord progressions that use a variety of chords, including minor 7th, minor 9th, and the stunningly beautiful sharp 11 chord. The third progression will show you how you can convert any chord progression into sounding like Blackbird by the Beatles. First, I'm going to take you through each of the chord shapes that make up our progressions today, before then showing you how you can put these together to compose beautiful sounding music. I'll then break each progression down so that you can understand it, and that you can, more importantly, take the chords yourself and create your own variations of the progressions. So let's get to it. So let's just have a look at some of the chords that are going to feature in today's progression. So I'm not going to cover every single chord. I'm just going to cover the ones that I really want to highlight in our progressions today. First off, we've got this really nice sounding C minor 9, in fact C sharp minor 9 chord, I should say. Beautiful sound with that droning open E string on top. So all we're doing here is we're using the second finger to play the root note on the 5th string, the C sharp note there. Then we've got the B note on the 3rd string, 4th fret. We've got the D sharp, that's the 9 of the chord, on the 4th fret of the top of the 2nd string. And then we've got the open droning string. So a beautiful sound. And what you might notice is there's this really dissonant interval. If I just played this, you would say, oh, that sounds pretty horrible. But that is in the chord. It's a D sharp and an E note. That's a semitone. That's about as dissonant as you'll get on the guitar. But in the context of the chord, it sounds beautiful. Okay, so that's C sharp minor 9 chord. We're also going to have this beautiful sounding sharp 11 chord. This is a G sharp 11. And it's got a 6 in there as well. But don't worry about the advanced sounding names here. It's beyond the scope of this video to get sidetracked and go down that route. Okay, just pay attention to the sound that you get and how we're going to use them, and of course how to play them. So this G sharp 11, we can simplify a standard G shape by only using the 3rd finger to play the root note on the bottom string, block out the 5th string by just lightly touching it with the 2nd finger that's playing the root note. Then you've got open 4th and 3rd strings, D and G, then the C sharp, that's the sharp 11 of the chord, and then the E on top. Beautiful sounding chord. For those who are up with the modes, it's the Lydian sound there with that sharp 4. Just a very mystical, sort of floaty, dreamy type sound there. We're also going to look at another sharp 11 chord. This one is A sharp 11. Beautiful sounding chord again. This one is coming from a standard triad shaped root position on the 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings, A major. And then the 1st finger just needs to stretch down to the 4th fret while you keep the 2nd and 3rd in place. And that's the D sharp, the sharp 11. And again, we get this, like we did in the minor 9 chord, we get this D sharp to E dissonant interval. But in the context of the chord, it's a beautiful sounding chord there. Okay, so that's the A sharp 11. And then there's the 10th harmony shape we're going to use to create chords and play a progression. So I'm going to show you 2 shapes here that we will use. One is fretting the root note C on the 5th string, and then I use my pinky to play the E. It's the 10th above the C. So if you count up C, D, E, that's the 3rd, but if you go up into the 2nd octave, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, you get to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you've got this beautiful 10th harmony shape. And we're going to actually then bring in open strings around the fretted notes of the 10th harmony to sort of fill out the sound a little bit. And that's a really nice way to play a C chord. And then in a similar fashion, we're going to use the minor 10th here. So for minor chords, so I'm going to bring it up to D to show you here. And I'm going to play the root note again, D on the 5th string. And I tend to use my pinky. You could use your 3rd finger, but you play the 10th up from the D, but it's the flat third, not the major third here. And when we add the open strings around that, we get a D minor type chord. So you get C and D minor. Right? Really beautiful way to sound those chords out. And pretty simple because you're only holding down 2 notes there with the open droning strings. So there's some of the chords that are going to feature in our progressions today. So the first progression here today is going to be quite a simple one, as they all are. And let me show you it in its sort of plain version, if you like. Nothing wrong with it, but just how you might typically play it. So you got like a C sharp minor chord, G sharp minor to A, C sharp minor, G sharp minor to A. It's going to do that one more time. G sharp minor to A and then to B for a couple of bars, I think that is. And then it's back again, right? So pretty simple, but we're going to be using and featuring this C sharp minor 9 chord. So for the C sharp minor chord, we're going to use the C sharp minor 9. And then for the G sharp minor, which we're only on for half a bar, we're actually going to keep these 2 notes on top throughout the whole progression, actually, as you'll see. So when I play my C sharp minor 9, if I just take that C sharp and put it onto the 4th string as a G sharp with the 2nd finger and keep all the other notes the same, I've got a G sharp minor 7 chord of sorts there. And then equally, if I take that away and just again keep these fingers on and play the open A string, I get an A type chord here, like a suspended 2 with a sharp 11 if you like, but again, don't worry about the name so much here. The point is that you can just change the root note and get a beautiful droning, mystical, if you like, sort of sound there. So instead of just this, we can get this. Right? So C sharp, G, A, G sharp, and the B, right? And then back. So C sharp minor, C sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, B. Okay, that's a really nice way to play. And in fact, we're in C sharp minor, which is the relative to E major, and you've got other root notes there. Not that, but that's the D, that's a flat 7, that won't work. But certainly these notes at the 2nd fret on the 5th and 6th strings will all work beautifully against the drone of these notes on top. So the second chord progression here is going to kind of be 2 separate but very much related chord progressions. So the first one is simply going to be a G resolving to a D chord. That's in its plainest form. G, it's going to be like 4 bars of G, and then D, and probably 4 bars of D there, right? It's just a G to a D. However, we're going to use this G sharp 11 chord. Okay, now if you were to play that chord and just you accidentally put the C sharp in there, you're probably going to hear it and perceive it as a really wrong sound, and it will sound wrong and you'll move on. But everything has beauty in it. It's how you hear it, and in how you hear it is then how you use it. And so it's like someone speaking. If they say something but they don't have the conviction behind it, you don't believe them. But if someone else says the same thing but with conviction, you really believe them, you get on board. So it's kind of the same thing when you're playing music. So this sound is beautiful, and what works well with this is if we play the G sharp 11 and then resolve by just taking it off. If we just take that first finger off, we're now playing G. So we've got G sharp 11, G sharp 11, G, and then into D. And this is a D suspended 2 with an F sharp in the bass. And then we can go back to the sharp 11 into the G. 2 with the F sharp in the bass for 4 bars. So you can see how beautiful that is to play as opposed to just playing G and D. Now, a similar sort of thing here, only this time this little chord vamp will be G to an A. You might do a bar on each. So G, okay, pretty standard chord progression there, nothing too exciting. But if we use the G sharp 11 and then the A sharp 11. So you got G, and you might resolve it into the G before going to the A. Okay, in the A sharp 11, you got that sharp 11, and you can kind of resolve it by hitting the high E, but you still kind of got that sharp 11 ringing through for a really beautiful sound. As I said, it's a Lydian type sound, and the mode Lydian has a sharp 4, and so it's got a very mystical, floaty, dreamlike sound to it, as you can probably hear in these progressions. So again, that one, G with the sharp 11, and A with the sharp 11. G, and A sharp 11. Okay, so 2 chord vamps, very simple, D, G, G, A, but using the sharp 11 chord, you can really give it a beautiful, mystical, dream-like sound. So the third and final progression is very, very cool. Now, I'm going to show you the standard version first, and what we're doing is we're actually going to be working up the diatonic chords of C major, as I'm doing now, to the A minor. So the first part of the progression is the 1 chord C, the 2 chord D minor, the 3 chord E minor, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and then the 6. Then we'll go back to the 3, then we'll go to the 4, and then here's a really cool move here. You go 4 major to 4 minor. That's a very beautiful sound in itself and very common, before returning to E minor. I was about to go to C there. I'll finish on E minor. So the second part of that progression, once you've worked up the 6 chords of C, goes to E minor, to F major, F minor. Beautiful sound. Very, very common. It's a borrowed chord, heard in tons and tons of songs, and then resolves to E minor. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the 10th harmony shape to play each of those chords, and I'll show you first just the 10th harmony shape, then we'll add the open strings for the finishing touch. So for the C, I play this little C harmony, 10th harmony, and that's coming right out of the C major root 5 chord. Okay, just notes on the 5th and 2nd string. Then we've got D minor chord. We take the 10th harmony out of that. The 10th harmony shape is hidden, if you like, or exists in the root 5 and root 6 bar chords. So that's the minor. Then we go to E minor, so it'll be E minor. And then we have F and G, so back to the major harmony shapes. Then A minor right up here, down to E minor, and then when we go to F major, and then we want to make it minor, just change the top note, and then move that down to the minor there. Now that's very cool sound, as I say. However, now we can utilize these open 3rd and 2nd strings, because they're 3rd and 1st strings, because they're G and E notes. They're diatonic to the key of C. So we could do something like this. Now that is very reminiscent of Blackbird, right? Blackbird is all 10th harmony shapes and open strings. That's what we're doing here. Okay, and you can do it to any chord progression, absolutely any chord progression. Okay, using 10th harmony shapes, you've got a major and you've got a minor. So if it was a minor 7th chord, a 7th chord, etc., you can still just use the major and minor shapes. You'd use the minor for the minor 7th chords. If they're in a progression, you'd use the major shape for dominant 7th chords or any variety of dominant 7th or minor chords. Okay, so it's a really, really beautiful way, and it's very simple because you only got 2 shapes and the rest is open strings. So a really beautiful sound that you can bring to any chord progression you play. If you would like help with your finger picking, the kind of help that gets you results in the most direct, efficient, fun way possible, then check out the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course, a complete system for fingerpicking acoustic guitar, so simple even a beginner can learn it. I've carefully designed this course to do all the heavy lifting for you, as far as knowing exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it in regard to mastering the art of fingerpicking guitar. All you have to do is follow the pathway I've laid out for you. In the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course, you will learn and master all the key concepts, methods, strategies, and techniques needed for fingerpicking, so you'll never put your guitar down in frustration again, thinking, how the hell do I do this? You will also discover the exact order in which to do things, avoiding the all too common mistakes most people make when learning to fingerpick guitar, saving you precious time and frustration. Have your hand held every step of the way with the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course. It will take you from wherever you are at right now with your fingerpicking to where you would like to be, enjoying every part of the process along the way. So click the link in the description below the video and check out the Ultimate Fingerpicking Guitar course. Let me know in the comments section what acoustic guitar topics you'd like to see covered in future videos. Let me know of beautiful sounding chord progressions you like to play on guitar. Sometimes it's the voicing that makes the chord progression sound beautiful. Sometimes it's the type of chord, no matter how you play it, makes the chord progression sound beautiful. But I'd love to hear of chord progressions you like to play on guitar that sound really beautiful. So drop me a line, don't be shy. I would love to hear and I would respond if you do. If you like this video, then hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Now, my analytics tell me that over 80% or about 80% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed, and you might think you are because they pop up in your feed because you've seen videos before, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're subscribed. If you subscribe and of course hit the notification bell button, then YouTube will tell you when I've released a new video. Thank you all the same for being here today. I really do appreciate your time as always. It's great to have you here, and I very much look forward to seeing you in the next video.